Hello, fellow people of the light. People that come from the first dimension. People that come from the infinite dimension, where there's only one dimension and all is one. Well, today I have something to tell you. Most of you are in a mindset right now thinking you're going to the fifth dimension. You're thinking you're going to go to this fifth dimension and everything's going to be happy-go-lucky and we're going to go live happily forever. Well, I just need to tell you something. The way you're looking at it is from the human reflective point. Stop looking at it from the human reflective point and look at it from the God standpoint. Look at it from your inner God. Look at it from that. Because if you think about it, you say you're in the fourth dimension right now. But if you're in the fourth dimension, wouldn't you be further away from God? And if you were in the fifth dimension, going to the fifth dimension, you'd be just moving further away from God? Think about it. The first dimension was all there. All was there and everything was harmonious. Everything was there. And we were all harmonious in the first dimension. Everything infinite. We were infinite majesty. We were one with God. So at this point, the people that think these light beings, people that want to become ascended, think they're going to the fifth. Well, they're not going to the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is not the place to be. Okay, we are in the second dimension right now. There are two dimensions constantly dividing. Duality, separation, yin and yang, constant. That's what we're in right now. And we're looking upon the third dimension. If we strive to get to the fourth dimension, we say fourth dimension is time. But I don't see that fourth dimension is time. I see the fourth dimension, I see dimensions as control, adding more limitation, more control. If you become fourth dimensional, you just have more control over the third dimension. But the thing is, you don't want to try to get third dimensional control, because then you'll just be on a never-ending cycle trying to get more and more control, where if you go back to the first dimension, you are one with God and you have complete control with God, and you're not trying to look for more control, trying to get into these different dimensions of control. You go further and further out into these dimensions and to try to gain control, well, you're not going to get anywhere, because you're pulling away further and further away from God, or the infinity. Try to understand it. That's what science is doing, is trying to understand it and trying to dig deeper and deeper. But it's a never-ending dig, so you just need to let go of it. Let go of the dig, let go of the material, okay? I see myself sitting behind the material in the duality scene, but I just need to dissolve back into that first infinite dimension and stop trying to dig deeper and deeper. Because when you dig deeper and deeper, you think you become the master, you become the creator. But the thing is, there was no creation. God is always, the infinite has always existed. There was no creation. Everything exists. Everything possible exists. If you create dimensions, you are actually stepping away from God, thinking you're the creator, thinking you're creating, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, and you think you're doing all this stuff where you're not doing anything, because it's all reflective. Anything that's outside of God is a reflection. It's a reflection of the infinite. So we need to stop thinking about going to the fifth dimension, going to the sixth dimension, going to the seventh dimension, eighth dimension, ninth dimension, whatever dimension. It's just more control. You'll go to these dimensions, but you won't be in power. You will have no power over it. you'll go to all these dimensions, but then there'll be something else still controlling you, and still controlling you, and still controlling you, and you'll be like, what's going on here? I don't understand. Until you need to dissolve and let go of the dimensions, just let go of all that stuff and just sit back and just relax. Dissolve back into infinity and become all knowing, become all being, become one with God. So the thing I'm trying to say is all these people that are dimensional junkies, they want to go into these high dimensions. These high dimensions are actually not higher dimensions, they're just higher dimensions of control, where the first dimension is unlimited control because it's infinite control. It's got complete control over everything. So anyway, that's all I've got to say. I just hope that the people of the light are drawn to this little movie before it's too late, before they drag themselves down into these levels of control. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. Thank you very much.